Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series, we're going to be going over Mars in the houses, okay? Mars in the houses. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about specifically Mars in the 5th house, okay? Having your Mars in the 5th house, all right? And before we get into Mars in the 5th house, first, let me help you guys understand Mars and the 5th house. Mars first. Mars is the planet in astrology that represents anger, adrenaline, your temper, okay? That represents your direct energy, how we're able to move, okay? Energy in a direct sense, it's how we move our bodies, it's how we're able to come to an existence, okay? Mars is all about the energizer, okay? It's the ignition, it's the gas, okay? So anytime we're talking about Mars, we're talking about action, taking forward action, taking physical action, okay? Because it's direct energy, physical action, okay? And we're talking about our adrenaline, our anger. All of those represents the energy that we use in order to have all this gas, all this energy for action, all this movement. So you have Mars, okay? This kind of warrior fighting planet. And then you have the 5th house, okay? The 5th house represents leisure, fun, how we have fun and leisure, okay? What we find fun. It's the house of self-expression, dating, romance, sex, fun, leisure, all of these things, okay? And it's how we express ourselves and have fun as human beings. So this is the 5th house, all right? This is what we're entering. So when you put those together, Mars in the 5th house, the first thing I can say is that there's a lot of adrenaline, a lot of motivation, a lot of action going on when it comes to fun and leisure, okay? With this placement, you are going to be ready to have fun. You're going to be ready to express yourself. You're just going to be pumped for it because you got that Mars energy, okay? Mars is like this gas, it's like this pumper. Anywhere where Mars is in your chart, you're going to see lots of like motivation to take physical action. So lots of it. These people are very physical with fun. They're very energetic, okay, when it comes to having fun. So you could think about somebody when it's time to play, when it's time to, let loose. You can imagine that people with Mars in the 5th house are so expressive, so energetic, and so direct with it. They're not going to think twice. It's like, oh, you want to gamble? Oh, you want to do this? Oh, you want to do that? Let's do that. They're going to be really pumped, really motivated, and have a lot of energy. And that actually makes a fun person because the 5th house is ruled by Leo, so it's a fiery house. So with Mars being a fiery planet, ruling adrenaline and all this energy, this makes these people very exciting, okay? Because like I said, they have so much motivation, so much energy, so much action being taking place when it comes to fun and leisure, okay? And very impulsive with it too, okay? Yeah, very impulsive with it too. This can be like challenging, okay? Like being very competitive when it comes to, having fun. So, this is a great placement for, sports, games, and stuff like that, because these people get very competitive, especially something physical, like a physical activity, because Mars is all about energy. It's all about the adrenaline. It's all about getting the body moving. Yes, these people can get really competitive and impulsive, okay? And there can even be some tension, because they got that competitive spirit to go along with their fun. But yes, very exciting, motivated people to be with when it comes to that. And they're very impulsive with it too. Also, with Mars in the 5th house, there's lots of sexual activity in terms of fun and leisure, okay? So using sex as a fun activity is definitely a big part in this placement because Mars is a very sexual planet because it rules adrenaline. And adrenaline, that type of impulse, that type of natural instinct that we have, that is also the energy that covers our sexual energy, because our sexual energy is run through adrenaline. It's that natural instinct you get that gets you pumping. That also deals with sex as well too. So there's lots of not just competitive fun, but also sexual fun. So basically, Mars in 5th house people, they could find, hooking up and doing things of that nature very fun. And it could be their choice with all that Mars and fire energy. So watch out for that too. Yes, definitely a big placement for using sex as a form of leisure. Also, these people could be very I wouldn't say too self-centered, but selfish when it comes to leisure and fun, okay? Because like I said, like with the very competitive nature, Mars makes you very self-identified because it's dealing with your own personal energy. So when you put this in the 5th house, these people are really going to be looking out for themselves. They're going to want to be the winners. They're always going to want to win, so like all that impulsive energy, if you're playing games, if you're gambling, if you're playing sports, whatever you're doing for fun, they're going to really want to win. And it's going to bring that competitive side out of them, that Mars energy. So things can go from fun to very, very competitive. Okay, don't be surprised if things get really competitive. Don't be surprised if these people get really mad if they lose. Because again, that Mars, that fiery energy, it brings out a lot of competitiveness. And that could take out the fun, sometimes. Sometimes the competitiveness a lot of times can bring us an edge, because sports is competitive, games that are competitive. It could bring an edge and bring a lot of excitement to fun and leisure. However, this can also go the other way and it can take the fun out of it, become too competitive or become confrontational. So, when it comes to having fun and it comes to, leisure, these people can get into lots of confrontation because they're bringing so much competitive energy and spirit to fun. It's like, all right, you're taking it too serious, So confrontations and fights can definitely be started through simple fun and games. Okay, so just be careful with people like this because they are the people who take, winning very seriously, even though it's just the sport in the game. And if they lose, it can really piss them off. With that Mars energy, okay? Because Mars rules anger. It has all that adrenaline, all of that. So there's a lot of that a person with Mars in 5th house, a lot of confrontation that they can meet when they are in the realm of having fun. Also, these people can be very, did I say again, sexual on an intentional level. Now, it doesn't have to be so insulting, okay? It definitely doesn't have to be like that at all. But because, Mars is in the 5th house and the 5th house deals with, dating and romance and how we have fun in that way. With that Mars energy, you're bringing a lot of sexual energy into this. These people can use their sexuality, their motivations for sex, very strongly in dating. Okay, so basically be very sexual when it comes to dating. And it could be, it could put some people off, or it could just be, something edgy, just something that they like to do a lot, or something fun and lighthearted, but brings a little edge to dating, a little spice, a little fire. Also, with Mars in the 5th house, these people have a strong sexual appetite. 5th house already deals with sex already in terms of how we utilize it in a fun, leisure way. But with Mars in here, it really pipes it up. And they could just be very sexual people in general. It could be a big part of their personality and how they like to express themselves, okay? They could be very blunt with it, because the 5th house is how we entertain people. It's not just romance and sex, but just how we entertain people. And it could just be a huge part of their personality and how they appeal to people in an entertaining level, okay? They could be very blunt, with their sexual energy, or how they express themselves through sex. So that could be a big part, but sexuality is very strong with Mars in the 5th house. It's just a huge placement. I know I mention a lot in this video, but it's really a huge placement because you're in the house of Leo, which already rules sex, and then you're adding Mars, all this adrenaline, just very sexually intense people. And it could be in a very pleasing way. It could be in an entertaining way. It could be like a nice edge, but sexuality is definitely a strong energy with Mars in the 5th house. And it's definitely something that is, turned on to the max. So, definitely know that. But that is Mars in the 5th house, okay? This placement has a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, a lot of adrenaline, very competitive, but in a fun way, very sexual, but in a fun way. Okay, but yeah, these people are very exciting, very fun, motivating people, and you know, they could get really competitive too, but all of this adds a very strong, energetic excitement to fun, okay? And you definitely can't say these people aren't fun to be around with. So that is Mars in the 5th house. I hope you guys like that, okay? And be back for some more. And if you did enjoy that, book a reading with me. I do astro readings as well as birth natal chart readings. And check out my music here on Spotify, Apple, and here on YouTube. All the links will be in the description box below. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.
Hey, and on that same old night, cops came to say